The birthing of something new, African, Nigerian. Our vision is to become a leading and trusted television network in Africa and beyond, delivering credible news, inspiring stories, and engaging entertainment that informs, empowers, and connects communities. Sim TV, from Africa to the world.
Good morning once again. It's your Sam TV Morning Pulse right here, bringing to you the newspaper dailies today. Starting off with the Nigerian Tribune, its banner headline has that Makinde declares for presidency. He calls for national unity against one-party rule at massive PDP APM rally. This is one governorship candidate you're seeing actually come out from the PDP, from an opposition party, to declare intentions to run for governorship elections. So moving on, we have Southwest Development Commission secures rail license to drive regional consecutivity, economic transformation. That's on page 3. And then on page 6, SEC raises alarm over rising Ponzi scheme on social media. Every year we see Ponzi schemes come and go, and it's funny because we still have people fall for Ponzi schemes up until now. SEC actually is raising alarm over the rising Ponzi scheme that we now have on social media, trying not to fall a victim of these Ponzi schemes. Automotive industrial growth is a kicker for NADDC DG Osanipin. He calls for strategic development of after-sales services. And then on page 6 again, OPE supports over 1,000 Osun students through Play for a Child initiative. Before we leave the Nigerian Tribune, ADC falls federal government's move to seek fresh $1.25 billion World Bank loan. That's on page 2. This is for economic reforms. Opposition, of course, faults the federal government's move to borrow about $1.25 billion from the World Bank. For APC primaries, it's a kicker for Tinubu cautions party leadership. Governors urge a fair contest. We have crisis rocks Oyo APC. We have secretariat attacked over alleged imposition of candidates. That's that for the Nigerian Tribune. We'll take a look now at the Daily Sun front page. On the Daily Sun, its banner headline has federal government considers new strategies to fight terrorist bandits. The plan is to deploy AI, anti-drone technology for military operations. That's on page 4. I think there's a long time coming. We've seen that these bandits, these terrorists have gotten advanced technology in their operations. So it's just necessary that the military actually match up to their technology as well. We see Tinubu urges consensus, peace, women, youth inclusion as APC's primaries are about to kick off. That's on page 6. Political parties have begun starting off their campaigns and their primaries as well. So it's important that every political party, especially those who are in the presidential seat, begin to take caution now and put their house in order. We have also that's on page 6. By the way, moving on to page 8, Makinde joins presidential race. He calls for unity against one party rule. PDP APM forge a mega alliance to unseat APC. Wike faction dismisses claims. That's on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. We see that in Oyo State, PDP and APM are coming together to try to unseat the APC government. Moving on, Atiku Amechi submit ADC nomination forms. APC ratifies Lagos, Rivers, 3 other states. We also have aspirants for reps primaries on easy calm in Niger APC as consensus agreement collapse. We have that on page 28. Moving on to page 27, APC government running Ponzi's economy. ADC accuses the APC. Tinubu secures $600 million ports investment. Eyes Guinea ties at Africa CEO Forum. We're still on today's on front page. Presidency is a kicker for even with gun to my head to stay on. I'll leave after 4 years. Obi says this is a conversation that has been had obviously, and a lot of people have had their thoughts on this particular one. Moving on, we are going to be taking a look at the Guardian newspaper now. For the Guardian front page, we have nutrition crisis. It is a kicker for the headline that says economic crunch squeezes poultry farmers, pushes eggs off menus. That is on page 4, and page 5 is a big story on the Guardian newspaper. It's really funny how eggs have been pushed off the menu. That's because farmers are going through a lot at this time. You know, even wholesalers are going through a lot. The economic has been crunching, and it's been really taking a toll on the economic part of things, and also the food part of things in Nigeria. The food sector, agricultural sector has been suffering so far. Nutrition has also been a case. I think recently it was reported that about 500,000 children in the northern part of Nigeria suffering malnutrition. It's really, really sad. Away from that, we have MSF tweets over 440,000 malnutrition Nigerian children as hunger crisis even worsens in 2026. That's on page 37 of the Guardian newspaper. We also have Makinde declares for 2027 presidential. We've already looked at that. And then amid got pushback, APC opts for direct primaries, sustainable ones against do or die politics. That's on page 6. Nigerian rallies donors partners to fund $6 billion Ogoni cleanup. That's on page 9. We also see the story of the NMA threaten a $1 billion lawsuit against the EFCC over assault of UUTH doctors. That's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. ADC falls fresh loan, federal government's economic model is on page 2. We've already taken that in the previous paper. NEMA alerts 30 states to possible severe flooding and urges prevention. We see that on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. Still on the Guardian, Nigeria will attract almost $20 billion FDI this year. Tinubu projects. That's that on the Guardian newspaper. Just before we go, we'll take a look at the Punch and the Nation as well. Starting off with the Punch this morning, fears lobbying tension as APC primaries begin. Of course, lobbying is expected. It's politics. Let's take a look at the riders. Don't wreck the boat. Tinubu urges APC leaders and aspirants. Consensus talks collapse in Taraba, in Yobe, Kano, or your APC office attacked. That's in your state, sadly. And then Kaduna moves to calm post-screening tensions. APC chief turns you for peace. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Okay, that's for politics. And then 2027 polls spending may trigger inflation. NPC warns. And this is also a serious conversation because when money is being pumped into politics, what happens after the elections? When it's being pumped into the elections, what happens after the elections? I hope we don't experience inflation after that. In 2027, as a kicker for Makinde joins presidential race once against one party state. All right, still on the Punch, EFCC operatives assault hospital workers dragged me into a van. UUTH doctor says in a press conference he had. We have 2027 as a kicker for Atiku Amechi submit ADC presidential forms. That is on page 7. Now, the next paper, before we wrap it up on the show this morning, the Nation newspaper, we have Tinubu as a kicker for Nigeria attracted $20 billion foreign investments this year. Its writer says APM Terminals pledges about $600 million in fresh port ventures. That's a story that begins on the front page of the Nation newspaper and continues on the second page of the Nation newspaper. Now, APC members to vote in 8,809 electoral wards for reps ticket. President urges rancor-free fair primaries in about 360 constituencies. That's also on page 2. Then PDP screens presidential governorship National Assembly aspirants, also on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. We look at Makinde as declared to be president. President declares for president on APM platform. Yeah, we see that. PDP disowns Governors Alliance claim. We have zoning not priority in ADC, says Hayatuddin Amechi, and most qualified for ticket. That's that for the Nation newspaper. And that is all the papers we can bring to you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, the SEM-TV morning polls continues as we bring to you the news of the hour. Stay tuned, and of course, don't change that dial. I am Vera Philip.
This is MTV.